Hello, everybody. Welcome to what's hopefully going to be the first episode of this little series that I'm doing called Board Reviews. Basically, what this is I asked on social media if you guys wanted to see me or hear me talk about what games I recommend playing, since a lot of us now have a lot of free time due to quarantine. And so basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through a list of what games at the time of filming this, what games I recommend playing based off of the game's popularity right now, what games I've been playing, and then hopefully some of y'all can take this and use this to find some games that you actually want to play to fill that time gap that you now have from quarantine. So without further ado, here's the list. So starting off, we have the Dark Souls series. This series I recently started. I have been playing Dark Souls 1 Remastered on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm really enjoying the game. The game is a lot of fun, lots of play time, it's got lots of replayability, and even though it's known for being a very difficult game, the lore is hard to piece together without multiple playthroughs and without like some internet research. Even with all that aside, it's the way the game works is it allows even people who are very inexperienced to be able to like pick up the game and still be able to play through it. The game's whole functionality is that the combat system, it never changes. It always works based off of trying to parry or counter your opponent's attack, and in their stall time after their attack, you use that time to use your charge up of your attack, and it never changes speeds. Some of the attacks will change, so there's lots of like customization of your character and your attacks and whatnot, but the attack speeds never change. So the advantage of that is that the game teaches the player how to play by repetition of like you die because you did it wrong, so then you have to go back and you just keep repeating until you figure it out. And it pays attention. It punishes players who get cocky, who get too confident, but it rewards the players who are persistent and hone their skills down to perfection. So I highly recommend the game series, no matter how experienced you are with video games. It's not for the faint of heart. It will frustrate you if you get too attached. My recommendation, if you still want to play it but don't want to get too frustrated, is accept the fact that you're going to die a lot. But that is how you have to learn to play the game. So yeah, that is, if you're looking for a game that's got lots of playtime, lots of replayability, and is difficult, but you can play it no matter what skill level you are, I highly recommend Dark Souls. It is a fantasy RPG, and it is a little, like, there are some things that are more, like, graphic in the game, so I don't recommend it for very young audiences, but I think most people that would be watching this would be, like, high school age, and maybe some middle school, so I think you should be fine, but don't go into it expecting it to be easy. Next up is a game I've been playing alongside Dark Souls 1 Remastered, Coffee Talk. It's a small game that was made on Unity. I saw it in the Nintendo store. It was pretty cheap. I think it was on sale. It might still be on sale. I'm not quite sure. But it's a very relaxing game, completely opposite Dark Souls. It's a game based around the premise of you are a barista in a coffee shop, and you work as a therapist for your customers and your patrons and whatnot, and you make them coffee and you talk to them about like their issues that they're going through, and you kind of help them work through it while like you give them coffee and whatnot. Very interesting game. It's not very long, but it does have a little bit of replayability, so I do recommend that one. It's you can tell the artist put their heart into the graphics, and the music is very soothing, kind of like a lo-fi hip-hop kind of thing, so very relaxing. So I recommend I recommend honestly playing these two together, Dark Souls and Coffee Talk, because Coffee Talk is a great way to take a break from the frustration of Dark Souls. But yeah, the next game, Animal Crossing, another very relaxing game. I highly recommend this one. I have not been playing it, but it has been doing exceptionally well. The community is very big and it's great. It is also another very peaceful and relaxing game. So it could also be used as a relaxant, in contrary to like Dark Souls. And alongside its fan base, the next game, Doom, I highly recommend playing the Doom series. I am actually planning on playing those after I finish the Dark Souls series. Also a very intense, violent game though. It is also not for like the people that don't like a lot of gore in their games, so because it is very violent, but it is also a great game series. It goes back a long time, so that I would say if you're looking for a more intense or difficult games, there's Dark Souls and Doom. If you're looking for very peaceful games, there's Coffee Talk and Animal Crossing. Now moving on to my next category, which is the horror genre. If you're looking for a series of games to play that will put you on edge, scare you, I highly recommend the Resident Evil series. I've been playing Resident Evil 2 Remake alongside my brother, and it has been very fun, very nerve-wracking. What we've been doing is you can replay it a bunch of times, and it times you, so there is the replayability and the aspect of like trying to get the best time. We've been playing as like alternating. One of us plays with one character. The Resident Evil 2 Remake has a female and a male character. So does the Resident Evil 3 game, especially the remake. It just came out, I think, fairly recently. But we did one playthrough of, one of us did one character, and one of us did the other character. So it's got replayability, but great series if you're looking for something scary. If you are looking for something even scarier, or if you have already played the Resident Evil series, I highly recommend Alien. Alien is known for being super scary. In the same way that Dark Souls is difficult, Alien's known for being very like horrifying. Not necessarily because it has like gore or any like scary things. It's because it makes you very tense, very on edge, with the way that the game functions. It also has the ability, it's on Xbox, it has the ability to pair with a Kinect on Xbox 360 or a microphone. If you want a more immersive experience, you would want to set those up, because the way those work is the Kinect tracks your head movement, so you have to actually tilt your head to peek around corners. And the microphone, if you're too loud while talking during the game, it will actually attract the alien or other enemies. So very intense game. The story's great, based off of the movies, if you didn't know that already. But yeah, it did very well. It's got a decent length for its playthrough. Not nearly as long as like Dark Souls and some of those other games, but it's definitely a fairly long game. So yeah, those are the horror genre. Last but not least, if you're looking for just a game series, an RPG, there's always the classic Pokemon series. They had released Sword and Shield, and we're waiting for the DLCs. I played through Sword and out of the two. Great game. The whole series is great. I grew up with it, because I'm still growing up with it. But if you're looking for some games with replayability, with something to do that would keep you busy for a while, Pokemon series is great. The Sword and Shield games, it's a great opportunity to play through those if you haven't already, while you wait for the DLC. If you're planning on doing that, I recommend starting that anytime, but this is a great opportunity. If you want something more challenging, the older games, especially the very first ones like Green and Red, there's Leaf Green, and then there's Red and Blue. Those ones are known for being those ones are a lot harder. I played Leaf Green, and it is a lot harder than the newer games. So if you want a harder version of Pokemon, basically the older genre, or the older generations are harder. If anyone's curious, my favorite generation is Gen 4. It's a Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I had played through Pearl and then traded it for a Platinum, a copy of Platinum. Highly recommend that one. It's really good. So yeah, if you're looking for an RPG, a series that has a wide range of difficulty, it's got replayability. The Pokemon series is great. It's got a huge fan base for a reason. So as of right now, those are my game recommendations for quarantine. If you're interested in me doing any kind of reviews of games, let me know in the comments, or if you want me to, if you have any game recommendations that you want me to look into, just let me know. I'm planning on doing some game review videos. Hopefully, I really want to do one on the Dark Souls games, so I'm thinking of doing one either before I finish Dark Souls 1 or maybe after I finish Dark Souls 1. So if you're wanting to see that, let me know, and watch out for that. So yeah, I hope this helps. I hope for those of you who are looking for games, I hope this was useful for you. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
Tell me what is wrong with that. No coins in the laundromat. You can't help but honor that. Jam man, make a man, more games than the Sega man.